The Tantra of Great Gaṇapati. Homage to Lokeshvara. Chapter 1. The Arising of SIDDHI. After one has paid homage to glorious great Gaṇapati, and glorious Gaṇapati is pleased, one should place the statue in a square maṇḍala and perform the offering for 6 months. One will have the same good fortune in this life as a divine universal emperor. One will incur great merit. One's wealth will equal that of the gods. One's lifespan will greatly increase. Humans and other beings will be under one's control, and even the gods will become one's servants and obey one's commands. The Nagas will also obey one's commands and accomplish any task like servants. The pleasure one will experience will be greater than the pleasures of the god realms. The great deity Great Gaṇapati will create emanation bodies that consecrate fortunate disciples who have attained SIDDHI. When one attains the highest supreme SIDDHI, one becomes extremely powerful, and it increases wealth like a wish-fulfilling jewel. The person who performs this offering to the benefactor of the world, the God of gods, will attain SIDDHI. This is Chapter 1 in the Tantra of the Great Deity Gaṇapati, the Arising of SIDDHI. Chapter 2. Instructions on the Mantra for the Deity's SIDDHI. Make a square maṇḍala in a secluded place as follows. Smear the ground with cow dung, making it smooth and soft, and place a statue of Gaṇapati in the center of its raised middle section. Scatter white flowers on it, get naked, adopt the form of Vinayaka, and perform the offering. Adopt a 6-month observance and perform 108 mantra recitations 3 times each day. All one's hopes will be fulfilled, and everything one wishes will come to pass. Place the glorious and auspicious symbol Om at the beginning of the mantra. Place the syllable that grants SIDDHI, like a wish-fulfilling jewel, next in line. Recite the syllable that is like the sun after that. Use the first syllable of the Tathagata's name. Recite the first consonant at the end of that. Recite the precious syllable Sva and the activating syllable Ha. This is how one who seeks SIDDHI should recite the secret mantra. This is Chapter 2 in the SIDDHI practice of the great deity, instruction on the mantra for the deity's SIDDHI. Chapter 3. A description of Gaṇapati. Gaṇapati is described as follows. Gaṇapati's body is white. He has the head of an elephant, and one of his tusks is broken. He holds a radish in his right hand. He is mounted upon a rat. His body is adorned with jewels, and he is crowned with a crescent moon. He is radiant and sends forth rays of light. He has a beautiful complexion and color, a big belly, and is clad in jewelry. This is Chapter 3 in the Tantra of Accomplishing SIDDHI, a description of Gaṇapati. Chapter 4. The practice of one-faced, four-armed Gaṇapati. A skilled person should pick white flowers on a day during the lunar month Pushya, and draw the image of Gaṇapati, depicting him with a white complexion and the head of an elephant, holding a radish in his right hand and a precious jewel in his left hand, with a big belly, adorned with all his ornaments, and seated on his throne atop a rat and a lunar disk. Then one should place the image in the center of the maṇḍala, facing oneself, adopt the form of Vinayaka, and perform the offering. This is Chapter 4, the practice of one-faced, four-armed Gaṇapati. Chapter 5. A teaching on Gaṇapati's mudra. Gaṇapati is in the northeast. He has a white complexion, the head of an elephant, a rat for his mount, and 3 eyes. He wears a crescent moon. His right hands hold a radish and battle axe, and his left hands hold a trident and skull bowl. For the Gaṇapati mudra, the left hand is clenched in a fist, with the forefinger and middle finger extended, and the forefinger is bent so that it grasps the joint of the middle finger. This is Chapter 5, a teaching on Gaṇapati's mudra. Chapter 6, a teaching on Great Gaṇapati's mantra. The mantra is taught as follows. Place the glorious syllable Om at the beginning. Write the precious, wish-fulfilling jewel syllable after that. The first consonant of the first class should be written after that. Adorn the first letter of the Tathagata's name with the 8th vowel. Bring the first consonant syllable to mind and mentally write it. Write the 3rd member of the 3rd class and the 4th of the 1st class. Write the 3rd member of the 7th class and add it after the 1st member of the 3rd. The 5th member of the 4th class accompanies the wish-fulfilling dual syllable and is adorned with the 3rd vowel. Then pronounce the 3rd of the 4th group and write the syllable for attaining SIDDHI after that. The fierce mantra syllable is pronounced at the end of all of them. Lokeshvara himself grants the SIDDHI of this secret mantra. It will fulfill every need. This is Chapter 6, a teaching on Great Gaṇapati's mantra. Chapter 7, a teaching on the name mantra. Now there is the additional teaching on the heart mantra for accomplishing SIDDHI, called the name mantra that accomplishes all the SIDDHIs. Take Shri and the syllable Yam and place them at the beginning where it says Om. Write the wish-fulfilling dual syllable and adorn it with the solar syllable after that. Write the 6th vowel next and ornament it with a nada and bindu. Pronounce the first syllable of the name after that. Write the 5th member of the 4th group and then the 1st member of the 5th group. Write the first syllable of the Tathagata's name, the wind element syllable, and ornament it with the 8th vowel after that. Pronounce the 2 pacification seed syllables at the end. The name mantra accomplishes all one desires. This is Chapter 7, a teaching on the name mantra. Chapter 8, the Gaṇapati offering. Now I will explain further. Pluck some white flowers by the root on a day during the lunar month of Pusha. The statue of Gaṇapati should be made by a skilled person out of pure white sandalwood. It should be 1 thumb length high, have a big belly, 4 arms, and be well made. Place it in a container made of precious materials. When the full moon is out, one should clean the area inside, where the image is located, so that it is clean, sparkling, and beautiful. Wash it with a vase containing scented water and a cleaning solution of perfume made of white flowers. Immediately after, invite him into the center of the maṇḍala and present the white flowers to him. Present him with a large barley offering of radishes and ladus, and then perform an offering with incense, perfume, lamps, and divine foods. For the mantra, one should present a barley offering to Gaṇapati consisting of radishes, ladus, water, and the 3 white offerings, and also offer incense and flowers. After it is performed in this way, nothing can pose an obstacle. This is Chapter 8, the Gaṇapati offering. Chapter 9, a description of the food for attaining SIDDHI. The term radish refers to a mustard root with 8 flavors. That is the best of all foods, and has the best flavors. These are bitter, sour, astringent, sweet, spicy, and salty flavors, as well as juicy and savory. They are antidotes to the 8 types of illness. They are helpful for all diseases and illnesses related to bile, phlegm, a mixture of the 2, blood, lymph, indigestion, and wind. No other food compares to it. It can make even the lips of the gods quiver. It is the food that grants SIDDHI, and one should offer it to Gaṇapati. The term laddu refers to a type of food containing the 3 sweets and the 3 fruits, that is sprinkled with a delicious fragrance. Rolled into a dough ball, boiled in milk and butter, and used as a great barley offering to the Ganas, offer it to Gaṇapati, along with various common foods such as butter, pastries, and the 3 sweets. These are the offerings to Gaṇapati. Place the statue of Gaṇapati in the palm of your right hand and recite the mantra 100,000 times without allowing your mind to wander. If one incants the radish with the mantra and offers it to Gaṇapati, one's merit in this lifetime will equal to that of a universal emperor. If one offers white flowers, one will not be defeated by kings and the like. One will gain a high rank such as king, and kings, ministers, and others will be brought under one's control. This is Chapter 9 on a description of the food that grants SIDDHI. Chapter 10, practices for becoming a king and the like. Now I will present the ritual instructions. Make a statue of Great Gaṇapati, holding a wish-fulfilling jewel in his hands, out of the precious material known as silver. Make a maṇḍala measuring 1 cubit across, and scatter precious stones and white flowers on it. Recite the mantra 100,000 times, and illness and suffering will be pacified. A skilled person should make a Gaṇapati statue out of crystal and conch shell according to the following procedure. It will remove all types of suffering, make the Gaṇapati statue 1 thumb length in height, out of precious crystal, and recite the Senapra Vidya mantra 100,000 times. While polishing the crystal statue, then on a day during the lunar month of Pusha, one should face east. Put on white robes, wash, place one's hands together, and mentally supplicate the deity. If some obstructing being is causing one harm, one should place the crystal statue on top of a mirror so that it does not move or wobble. Then one should bathe, face east, and the robber or spy will appear in the mirror and be identified. If one recites the Naga Kuru Vidya 100,000 times, while making offerings and illuminating the crystal statue of Gaṇapati, simply showing this statue to someone afflicted by illness and suffering will cure them of any illness and free them from suffering. That is the great pacification ritual. Make a statue of Great Gaṇapati out of the precious gold. Open its eyes on a day during Pusha. Make offerings to it and consecrate it. Recite the Vara mantra 100,000 times, and all the wealth of the household in which the statue resides will increase. When they see the golden Gaṇapati, obstructing beings will give you riches, Obstructing beings will be unable to cause harm, and will present offerings fit for a king. A rain of precious substances will fall in the location where the golden Gaṇapati resides. All kings of obstructing beings will give all their wealth to the golden Gaṇapati, and one will become wealthy. The qualities that constitute a superior Gaṇapati statue are that it reveals treasures concealed by yakshas. It will ensure one's possessions always increase in this life and in future lives, and it causes the Lord of Wealth, Vaishravana, to honor one like a king. Place the statue of glorious Gaṇapati in a square mandala. Recite the Bhaga mantra 100,000 times, and one will attain SIDDHI in this life. It will grant whatever one desires, and the power of the King of Gods will be bestowed upon the practitioner. The compassionate, glorious Gaṇapati and his multitude of compassionate ones will protect one from poverty with their compassionate nature. Draw the great god of wealth on a piece of silk or a piece of cloth. Open its eyes on a day during Pusha, and good fortune will come to the location of the household in which it is placed. A skilled person should make a well-crafted Gaṇapati statue out of copper. Place it on top of a mandala on ground that has been smeared with red sandalwood. Make an offering of banduka flowers, rubies, and all manner of red flowers, while reciting the Brahm Vidya mantra, and one will enthrall a king's daughter, a goddess, a female naga, a Kinnara's daughter, or a reputable Brahmin's daughter. She will be extremely beautiful, respectful, and will obey your command like a servant. Relying upon immeasurably superior statues such as these can allow one to gain siddhis simply by making offerings. Make a statue of Gaṇapati out of precious materials and place it on top of the mandala. Recite the Ratna Siddhi Vijaya 100,000 times, and it will allow one to discover buried treasures and indulge in whatever one desires. This is Chapter 10 in the Tantra of Great Gaṇapati, Practices for Becoming a King and the like. Chapter 11, Great Gaṇapati's Maṇḍala. Glorious Great Gaṇapati is very fierce, with a fierce grimace. He has the heart of a Buddha, the head of an animal, and the face of a young elephant. With 3 eyes and 4 tusks, he has 4 arms, 4 feet, and bears a large naga. The first hand holds a white tusk, and the hand below it holds a noose. The left hands hold a battle axe and 3-pointed khatvanga. He is dark blue and has a huge belly. This statue of Gaṇapati should be cast in molten bell metal and bronze. Consecrate it on a day during Pusha for the meditation and practice. Choose a location to construct the mandala and draw a mandala with 9 sections. Include the gates and porticos. Draw a lotus with 8 petals in the middle, on which Gaṇapati tramples the target of the rite. He is seated on a moon disk in non-dual union with his consort. Her name is Achikari, and she is known as the Vajra sow-faced one. She holds a battle axe and a cup filled with blood that she offers to her lord. The lord of the 3 realms is in the eastern section, which is yellow. He holds a radish and a sword. The great Yaksha Vajratunda is in the southern section, which is blue. He has the face of Mahadeva, holds a mace and hammer, and is black. The Yaksha king, lord of clouds, is in the western section, which is red. He is red and holds a noose and a billowing cloud full of water. The Yaksha Lord Abode of Wealth is in the northern section, which is green. He is green and holds a mace and a jeweled Katvanga. Vinayaka, the Lord of Obstructing Beings, is in the northeastern section, which is white. He has the face of an elephant, holds a trident and a radish, and is black. Rudra, Lord of Pretas, is in the southeast section, which is red. He holds an axe and an intact skull, and he is black. Cloud Light is in the southwest section, which is black. He holds a billowing cloud with a flashing thunderbolt beneath it with both hands. Curved Trunk Vinayaka, the king of obstructing beings, has an elephant trunk and is in the northwest section, which is black. He holds a trident and a dry skull that has a radish inside and is full of flesh. The 8 Naga kings who obey these deities are the Naga kings Abala, Varuna, Sankapala, Takshaka, Kulika, Ananta, Padma, and Mahapadma. The great king Dhritarashtra is at the eastern gate. Virudaka is at the southern gate. Virupaksha is at the western gate, and Vaishravana is at the northern gate. The colors of their bodies are white, blue, red, and green respectively, and each of them holds a precious jewel and a sword. Their consorts are not depicted. Make a wax effigy of the enemy that is thin, black, and has dishevelled hair, and place it inside a triangular killing maṇḍala to the northeast of the drawing. Smear it with sesame oil, write the family name in the center, place it there, and tie a cord made from the hair of a corpse around its neck. After you have done that, set up barley offerings of laddu and radishes for each of the 8 great yakshas, as well as red barley offerings that contain fish and onions for each of the 8 great yakshas. Prepare a single large barley offering for the 8 great nagas, and one for each of the 4 great kings. If one cannot afford that, prepare a single large barley. Present divine food offerings to each of them. One should also set out wrathful substances such as a wolf's skull, black cumin, mustard seed, white mustard seed, and black mustard seed. This is Chapter 11, Great Gaṇapati's Maṇḍala. Chapter 12, The Meditation System. Now I will explain further. A meditation system like this has never appeared before and will not appear again. It is a well-kept secret, and one should practice it. The nature of yam is emptiness. Hom arises out of that, and its nature is appearance. Ya is the seed syllable of the 8 ganas who are generated from their name mantras. The wrathful one's emanations fill the 3,000-fold world. Light rays gather and coalesce in the initial syllable Hom. Then one generates Great Gaṇapati, who appears for the benefit of beings in his complete form as a terrifying, great, wrathful being with his consort and retinue. One generates the 8 nagas out of 8 pu syllables, and the wrathful kings are likewise generated from the syllable bai and their names. Draw them in with light rays, and use ja and ja's expanding and contracting light rays, Hom and the Hom mantra, and the hook mudra to draw them in. Have them assume their full power, perform the offering and the barley offering. Augment their heart mantras with the mantra Balim Grina Ka. This is Chapter 12, The Meditation System. Chapter 13, The Arising of the Secret Mantras of the Great Yakshas. The king of mantras is as follows. For its vowels and consonants, write the first followed by the fourth. Place the fifth member of the fourth next. Imagine the wish-fulfilling dual syllable after that, and recite the first syllable of the Tathagata's name after that. Ornament it with the eighth vowel. Add the second vowel to the attracting syllables and the wind element syllable that is called the victorious king. Add the second vowel to the wish-fulfilling dual syllable. Write the sun syllable and then the fifth of the fourth class. Ornament that with the eighth vowel. Adorn the fourth syllable of the second class with the fourth vowel. Add the fourth of the fifth syllable and the fifth of the third syllable. Ornament the first syllable of the fourth class with the fourth vowel. Add the wind element syllable after that. Pronounce the precious syllable and the action syllable at the end. Great Gaṇapati's root mantra grants everything one desires. The mantras of the 8 yakshas are Ya and so forth, Yaya and so forth, Vam and so forth, Vinayaka and so forth, Bhaira and so forth, Hum and Tree. The 8 are flanked by Hum and Pat, which makes them vital energy heart mantras. One generates the Naga mantras from their names and adds Om and Hum Pat. The mantras of the great kings are the mantras Bai, Bi, and Ba. This is Chapter 13, the arising of the secret mantras of the great yakshas. Chapter 14, the fierce killing mantra. For the mantra to attract a target, recite Shatrum Rija Nija with Ya, Ksha, Ka, La, Ma, Ha, Bhairabe, Tri, Ra, and Cha many times. One should use the 8 yaksha mantra to excavate an enemy's soul stone. Then one should burn the soul stone and trample the soul stone. For the killing of impelling mantras, recite the invocation Ya, Ksha, Ka, La, Ma, Ha, Bhairabe, Deva, Yaksha, Yama, Naga, Naga, Thumrilaya, the target's name, Thumrilaya, and Ya, Ya. For the killing mantra, recite the phrase as above, beginning with Ma, Ha, Bhairabe, Yaksha, and the like, followed by 2 Nashaya, Nashaya, Churnaya, Churnaya, Nagayakatra, Maraya, Hana, and Chakra twice. Vinayaka, Ji, Binda, and Tantakara. The target's name, Maraya, and then Hum, Hum, Pat, Pat. This is Chapter 14, the fierce killing mantra. Chapter 15, praising Gaṇapati. There is also the following fierce mantra. Om Bhiga Bhaya Vibi Sava Vidya Vishayadram Itaya Hom Chitu Vatu Tram Pramarutaya Hana Hana Grina Grina Pacha Pacha Brahma Brahma Brahmaya Brahmaya Hom Hom Pat Pat. Make a statue of great Vinayaka out of bell metal or pure copper. Consecrate it and make offerings to it. Place it on top of an effigy of the enemy so that it acts as Gaṇapati's seat, and the enemy will surely die. Rites that employ it are also said to be highly effective. Make a statue of Gaṇapati out of sandalwood or jewels, consecrate it, and make offerings to it. If one wants to stop a hailstorm, make a statue of Vayu and Varuna, the lords of hail. Make an effigy of a cloud and a statue of a dragon, and press it down as Gaṇapati's seat. Imagine yourself trampling it as well while reciting the mantra that begins Hika Chandra, and the hail will stop. One should scatter white mustard seeds in the directions. If one wants to cause hail, make a clear drawing of a water and cloud mandala, visualize Gaṇapati riding a dragon, and imagine them as one's servants. To prepare the secret substances, make a dough using powdered iron, gold, copper, rainwater, and rice flour. Form it into hailstones the size and shape you desire, anoint them with blood, and do this many times over for 49 days. Place them inside a crow's skull, cover the crow's skull with clouds, and write the mantra on it. For the third stage, set out the materials to support the rite. Recite the mantra that begins Brum Brum Barishaya 100,000 times. 3, 7, or 8 of the hailstones inside the crow's skull will emerge. One should bring them to the enemy's territory. Recite the mantra after the repelling mantra, and it will fall on the enemy. If it does not hail, hide the Gaṇapati statue in the middle of the enemy's territory, with its head facing down and its feet facing up, and it will immediately hail. Hail the size of Kalandaka bird eggs and red-colored hail the size of deer testicles will fall for a long time. This will happen because Brum is a mantra that destroys crops. If you want to eliminate them, do not remove the statue and the crow skull. It will hail every day, and they will leave. Present offerings to the Gaṇapati statue. Perform 108 mantra recitations that are flawless from start to finish, using a dual rosary. Bathe, and ask Gaṇapati to be present in the center of one's own mandala. Gaṇapati accomplishes limitless supreme acts such as that. Homage to you, joyous, glorious Gaṇapati. Homage to great, glorious Gaṇapati. Homage to the glorious, great, peaceful, and wrathful one. This is chapter 15 in the Arising of SIDDHI Tantra, praising Gaṇapati. This concludes the Gaṇapati Tantra, Arising of SIDDHI.